Hollywood in the 1930s was the perfect storm for comedy. Audiences needed escape, studios were experimenting, and a new style of fast-talking, unpredictable humor hit the screen. Screwball banter, outrageous plots, and larger-than-life stars turned movie theaters into places where laughter felt unstoppable. No other decade produced comedies quite like this. Sharp, stylish, and still funny nearly a century later. Nothing Sacred, 1937. Carole Lombard was already the queen of screwball.
Let me sock you just once on the jaw, and I don't care what happens.
But this film gave her something different. She plays a small-town woman wrongly believed to be terminally ill.
Well, you can stop giving yourself the airs of a dying swan. You ain't going to die.
Co-starring multiple Oscar winner Frederick March as the fast-talking journalist who exploits her story. She's swept to New York, where reporters and the public treat her like a living saint.
Oh, please, let's not talk shop, huh?
The film plays with the absurd way audiences cling to drama and tragedy. Directed by William Wellman and written by Ben Hecht. The humor comes from sharp dialogue, big set pieces, and the gleeful way it mocks celebrity culture. Lombard's timing is flawless. March keeps pace, and the mix of cynicism and slapstick makes Nothing Sacred one of the most original comedies of the decade. Topper, 1937. Before Cary Grant was the smooth leading man everyone remembers, he was part of this light, supernatural comedy that became a surprise hit. Topper tells the story of a stuffy banker whose life gets turned upside down when he's haunted by a fun-loving ghost couple, played by Grant and Constance Bennett. The film mixes screwball antics with fantasy, showing audiences that comedy didn't always have to be rooted in reality. Directed by Norman Z. MacLeod, it blends sharp dialogue with clever special effects, and Bennett steals just as many scenes as Grant. The success of Topper even launched sequels and a TV series, proof of how popular the idea was. Its mix of sophistication and silliness.
Toppy, I think you got something there. Hit it. Truck on down, Toppy.
Makes it one of the 1930s most inventive comedies. You Can't Take It With You, 1938. Frank Capra's adaptation of the Pulitzer Prize-winning stage play brought screwball eccentricity to a big-hearted story.
Here, I'll give you a general idea.
Jean Arthur plays a woman caught between her quirky, free-spirited family and the wealthy, uptight clan of her fiancé, played by Jimmy Stewart. Capra, already known for blending comedy with idealism, balances slapstick and romance with a message about money, happiness, and what really matters in life. The ensemble cast shines, with Lionel Barrymore delivering warmth as the family patriarch, and Edward Arnold lending weight as Stewart's stern father. The movie went on to win the Oscar for Best Picture and Best Director, proving that even zany comedy could carry emotional weight and mainstream prestige. 20th Century, 1934. Before screwball comedy became a staple, Howard Hawks helped set the template with 20th Century. Hawks was one of Hollywood's most versatile directors, already making his mark with hard-edged stories like Scarface in 1932. Here, he turned that sharp eye for rhythm and dialogue towards something completely different. John Barrymore plays an egotistical Broadway director trying to win back his former protege, played by a young Carole Lombard, as they clash aboard a luxury train. The pace is relentless, insults fly, emotions swing wildly, and Barrymore chews the scenery with grand theatricality. Lombard matches him with a fiery performance that launched her into comedy stardom. It's manic, it's absurd, and it's considered one of the films that defined what screwball would become. The Old-Fashioned Way, 1934. W.C. Fields was one of the most distinctive comedy stars of the 1930s, and The Old-Fashioned Way shows him at his most vaudevillian. Playing the great McGonagall, a scheming traveling actor who tries to keep his troupe afloat, Fields brings his trademark mix of cranky wit and physical comedy to every scene. The film is best remembered for the famous juggling sequence, performed by Fields himself, which remains one of his signature routines. While the story is light, the humor comes from Field's persona, exasperated, sly, and always a little larger than life. It captures the style of comedy he perfected on stage and screen, and it's a reminder that the decade's laughter wasn't only about screwball couples, but also about singular performers who made audiences roar. Mr. Deeds Goes to Town, 1936. Frank Capra had a knack for mixing comedy with heart, and Mr. Deeds Goes to Town is one of his best. Gary Cooper stars as a small-town man who unexpectedly inherits a fortune and moves to New York, where his plain-spoken honesty clashes with city cynicism. Jean Arthur co-stars as the sharp reporter who first mocks him, then falls for his sincerity. The film balances satire and screwball energy with Capra's trademark idealism, turning simple kindness into both comedy and commentary. Cooper's understated performance makes the humor land without ever feeling forced, while Arthur's quick wit keeps the banter lively. The movie was a box office hit and won Capra another Oscar for Best Director, showing that even in the middle of the Depression, audiences loved a story where decency could outsmart greed and make them laugh along the way. Ninotchka, 1939. By the end of the decade, Ernst Lubitsch returned with another classic, this time pairing his signature sophistication with Greta Garbo in a rare comic role. Marketed with the tagline, "Garbo Laughs," the film follows her as a stern Soviet envoy who travels to Paris on official business, only to find her icy discipline melting under the city's charm and the attention of Melvyn Douglas.
The whites of your eyes are clear. Your cornea is excellent.
Your cornea is terrific.
The laughs come from Garbo's deadpan seriousness, colliding with a light directorial touch, turning political satire into romance.
Was that talkative?
No, that was restful. Again.
It was a hit with critics and audiences, proving Garbo could master comedy just as easily as drama, and showing how wit and sophistication could turn even a political satire into a crowd pleaser. The Awful Truth, 1937. Few films captured the charm of screwball comedy better than The Awful Truth.
Take it.
A divorce farce where Irene Dunne and Cary Grant turn marital collapse into pure comic gold.
Oh, he's only my husband for, how much longer is it now, 60 days?
59.
Ah, that's better. Only 59 days.
The story follows a married couple who decide to split, only to sabotage each other's new romances in increasingly ridiculous ways. Directed by Leo McCarey, the film is full of sharp banter, physical comedy, and moments that feel spontaneous. McCarey was known for encouraging improvisation, which gave the film a looseness and energy uncommon for the time. Grant and Dunn's chemistry is electric, and their games of one-upmanship still feel fresh. The film was a major success, earning McCarey an Oscar for Best Director, and helping turn Grant into the screwball icon audiences remember today. My Man Godfrey, 1936. Carole Lombard cemented her reputation as the queen of screwball comedy with My Man Godfrey, playing a dizzy socialite who hires a forgotten man as her butler, only to discover he's far more capable and complicated than she imagined. William Powell gives the film its heart as Godfrey, balancing dignity and sharp wit against the chaos of the wealthy family he works for. Directed by Gregory LaCava, the movie blends fast-paced comedy with Depression-era bite, satirizing privilege while still delivering laughs. The banter between Powell and Lombard is sparkling, and the physical gags add to the rhythm. Nominated for 6 Oscars, it remains a perfect mix of social commentary and pure entertainment. Bringing Up Baby, 1938. If screwball comedy had a poster child, it would be Bringing Up Baby. Directed by Howard Hawks, the film throws Cary Grant's absent-minded paleontologist together with Katharine Hepburn's unpredictable heiress. Then it adds a leopard named Baby to the mix. What follows is pure chaos, mistaken identities, pratfalls, and non-stop banter that never lets up. Hepburn, not yet known for comedy, throws herself into the madness, while Grant shows off the impeccable timing that made him a legend. The film famously flopped on release, with critics calling it too frantic, but over time it became a classic and is now considered one of the ultimate screwball comedies of the era. Duck Soup, 1933. The Marx Brothers were already established as wildly unpredictable comedians, but Duck Soup is their masterpiece. Groucho stars as the outrageous leader of a bankrupt country, while Chico, Harpo, and Zeppo cause chaos all around him. The film is political satire dressed as slapstick, tearing into government pomp, war, and authority with rapid-fire gags and wordplay.
Well, that covers a lot of ground. Say, you cover a lot of ground yourself. You better beat it. I hear they're going to tear you down and put up an office building where you're standing.
Leo McCarey's direction keeps the madness tight, while Groucho's insults and Harpo's silent mayhem land one laugh after another. The mirror scene remains one of the most famous comedy routines from the era, and the finale, a war that unravels into absurdity, shows how fearless the Marx Brothers were in skewering power. It Happened One Night, 1934. Frank Capra's It Happened One Night set the standard for the romantic comedy itself. Clark Gable plays a fast-talking reporter who reluctantly helps a runaway heiress, played by Claudette Colbert, as they travel across the country. What starts as a battle of wills becomes a tender romance, with sparkling banter, perfect comic timing, and scenes that became instant classics, like the Walls of Jericho blanket, or Colbert stopping traffic with her leg. The film swept the 5 major Academy Awards, an achievement almost unheard of at the time, and its influence can be seen in nearly every rom-com that followed. Nearly a century later, it still feels fresh, funny, and endlessly charming. That wraps up our look at some of the best comedies from the 1930s. Did we miss one of your favorites? Let us know in the comments. We'd love to hear which comedies from that era gave you the biggest laughs. And if you're craving more movie recommendations and peeks behind the velvet curtain, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.